how are we doing today? It is time for Ravagers. We were doing some, hey, how's it going? Hey, Sparky. Hey, Muscle Man. Hey, Scrub Lord. Hey, Tyrant. Welcome to Entering Operations Episode 9, The Ravagers. Hi, Ida. Hello, everyone. Sorry about the late start, but we are here and we are ready to go. I'd like to go ahead and start off, as we always do, by introducing our experts. We have a couple of new faces today, but I'm sure you guys have heard of them nonetheless. Starting off, we have Jadens. Jadens is our one of our tanking experts. Jadens, how are you doing today?
I'm tired.
I understand that. Jadens is probably one of the, if not the best tank in the game. She was on the first world clears of Nightmare Gods. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
you were
the second time run.
second time to run, so she knows what she's talking about. So, but it's always a pleasure to have you. Thank you so very much for being here. Next we have Kogus, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend.
Hi, Ran and Stream. How's everybody?
Doing good. As we all know, Kagi is our resident Jug God, so if you have any questions regarding Juggernaut or Guardian DPS, this is the man to ask. Then next, I would like to introduce you to Crane. Crane is our Power Tech / Vanguard DPS expert. He joined the EO team just recently. So Crane, hi, how are you doing? Okay, we're gonna just skip on. Oh, I thought he said he was getting a drink. So anyway, more Kef is right. Next we have Kruvy. Hi, Kruvy.
Hello.
Hello, OB. Oh, so nice. Don't sound so excited to be here. Anyway, we all know Kruvy. Kruvy is our Merc / Commando expert. So if you have any questions regarding Merc, Mando, DPS, this is the gentleman to ask. Filling in today, though honestly I really should just give him a full-time position, we've got Faz. Faz plays Merc and Sork Healer, so honestly, if you have any Merc questions, I honestly would ask Faz over here. Also, Faz, how you doing?
I'm really tired.
Everyone's tired today, I don't get it. But
being up till like 3 a.m. and then going to work right after that.
Oh, why would you do that to yourself?
Because I got asked to fill in.
Well, thank you so very much for being here. It's appreciated. Next, we have Zab. Zab is tanking for us, as always, but I know you guys know him as our Lightning Sork / Telekinetic Sage expert. Zab, how you doing?
Hello.
We're really fortunate to have Zab. He was in the path of the most recent hurricane, so we're really honestly happy to have you here, Zab. And I'm glad you're okay.
Thank you.
So, and then last but certainly not least, Wonder Shun, the other man, the myth, the legend. Wonder, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm not tired, so I'm good.
Yay, somebody's not tired. Yay. Wonder Shun is our resident Sork expert. If you guys have any Sork healer questions, this is the man to ask. I think he has, haven't you like single-handedly solo healed like Hardmode Tithe or something crazy like that?
Probably.
It's a trend if I don't want it. Yeah, you're right. And then lastly, I'm Lady Ran. I'm the resident Scrub Lord. So don't ask me any questions. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, today we are going to be going into the Ravagers, everyone's least favorite operation, the one that's not done enough due to it not really being a big part of the storyline. It's got some interesting nice try, exactly. It's got some really interesting mechanics that can be really confusing. Master Blaster is a huge wall for a lot of groups, but hopefully after today you guys won't even need the boss and we can go ahead and you guys can see a little bit of everything. Anyone an expert in using an operative healer? I know people. You like operative healers? Yes. Sparky, we've already got a question from my experts, Wonder and Faz. Let's talk a little bit about operative healer. What is your question regarding operative healer? The most monolith is the most loved operation in the game, and everyone loves doing it.
I'm the wrong person to ask about operative healing.
That's right. You don't have operatives, don't you?
Oh, I do. I just don't play them. That's for a good reason.
That's for a good reason. All right, let's go ahead and send on in, guys. So we're going to do story mode Ravagers first. It's going to be a little bit of a blitzkrieg. We're going to just run in, kind of give you a little bit of basic on how the mechanics are at the beginning, and then we're going to build upon it more in hard mode. Ravagers is one of the only 2 operations in the game that does not have a Nightmare equivalent. So Ravagers and Temple of Sacrifice are both what were considered Hardmare. Hello, how are they for beginners? I'm leveling 1 for Jono's Guild and decided to main a healer. Operative, in my terrible knowledge, I missed Tom already. Operative is a maintenance healer, so there's lots of hots go out. It's a very big APM healer. Also, hi Kydrune, how are you? I wouldn't necessarily recommend operatives for a brand new healer. I would recommend Sork. Yay! I would recommend Sork for a brand new healer. However, operatives do bring a lot to the table with stealth resing, great AoEs, really good maintenance healer, and they can be completely invaluable to a group. Yes, J Muscleman knows exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so Vester mode. That's correct, Wonder. Would you mind saying that for us? What is the correct term for these hardmares? Oh. Well, our experts have decided that instead of Hardmare, they are now going to be considered Vetster mode. Instead, it's a combination of Veteran and Master mode. Also, Crane, how are you?
Yes.
Hi.
Oh.
We introduced you, but you had a big AFK, so I apologize. How are you doing? Thank you so very much for being here.
Oh, no problem. I'm doing well.
Good. All right,
Gotta
so...
get a snack.
What?
Gotta get something to drink and a snack.
Yeah, snack. What type of snack are you having
Thanks
today?
for the graphic.
Yay, Groffit! Okay, so we're going to zerg through story mode, talk a little bit about the mechanics, but we're going to build more upon those mechanics in hard mode. So first boss is Sparky. Sparky is actually, we consider Sparky a parsing dummy, basically. There's going to be little doggies that come out. The biggest thing that kills people is this big old thing right here. As you can see, that drops and cuts out the exit. That has killed more people, including myself, more often than I care to admit. So just very much be careful. Someone here is
Sorry.
No, please.
Important, never, when you see the ads, never kill a Druidic store.
Yeah, don't stay by the door.
They're the best.
Yes. So with Sparky, there's going to be a big shield that is around Sparky at first, and then after around 90%, it's going to disappear. This is where you would burn ray buffs, adrenals. She will also begin a new ability called Rampage, where she's going to leap around. There's going to be a big red circle that appears under, a player's feet. They're going to get knocked down. You can negate this with Hydro overrides, hold the line, entrench, all that good jazz. She's also going to spawn ads, which all have their own names, which I thought is really kind of cool. You will, when they're attacking in story mode, you're going to be seeing a debuff called Rending Swipe, which has stacks. In hard mode, these stacks do not disappear. You take 2% increased damage with each stack. So in hard mode, you would consider that you usually have, and correct me if I'm wrong, Zab and Jadens, but usually a tank swap about higher stacks depending on the group and how you're...
Yeah, you can do tank swap in hard mode, or we could just not tank swap at all.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
We don't usually tank swap, but I think originally, due to like...
Yeah, originally back in 3.0, I remember when I used to do this fight in 3.0, we swapped because the damage was much higher, and when she does the brutalize, we have to break the shield now because otherwise the tank dies.
Yep. So
Yes, I've seen the channel
That's a
finish.
DPS check right there.
Yep. So that's a big DPS check there.
We are in burn at the moment.
Oh yeah. So in burn, there's just going to be lots of ads that come around. In story mode, it doesn't really matter. You can just group them. You typically don't want to have them grouped up with Sparky because she will buff the ads that spawn. So you want to make sure that Sparky is away from the little babies. Usually you can have 1 or 2 DPS depending on your group composition. But most of the time, usually you just leave the 1 tank to kite them around and the rest of the DPS burn.
The thing with the ads in Sparky is that on hard mode she has a circle that whichever ads inside the circle is gonna get counted to the main tank, and the main tank's gonna start getting stacks, and that's bad.
Yes, that's very bad.
Other thing that I was doing is that Sparky has a body slam that knocks forward and a shoulder throw that's gonna knock you backwards. So I was just shrouding the shoulder throw. You can hydraulics or PT, not get knocked around.
Jugs are kind of out of luck.
Yeah, but if you don't want to do that, you just have to turn the buzz around for the shoulder throw or get knocked into the middle of the room.
Correct.
But and the buzz has a cleave, so
yeah. So lots of big tank mechanics
safer
for Sparky. But other than that, she really is pretty much a welcome into the Ravagers, kind of just relatively easy ad management. One mechanic that we just kind of like skipped over was the brutalize. She's going to focus down the main tank or the tank that has aggro, and she's going to pin them down. And if you do not break the shield or the cast by the time that the cast is over, the main tank will die. Also, in hard mode, they do take a lot of damage during the brutalize, so healers do need to be aware of that mechanic. Thank you very much. You have a good day at work. So now we're moving on to Bulo. These trash packs can actually hit pretty hard, and also people can die by fall damage by falling off the side. So this pack, especially up here, has been responsible for more deaths than I can count. Typically, if it's on the floor, you don't want to stand in it unless it's a puddle from a sword or a sage.
What makes a hit so hard is that this trash, they apply a vulnerability debuff on the tank, so that's why the tank gets destroyed. It don't pop anything. I just shrouded to cleanse the debuff.
Thank you very much for that. Also, if anyone knows, we have a little pet Graphic coming around, so everyone say hello to the EO Graphic. Yeah, the Graphic. So lots of groups will line of sight this particular set of trash. Just pull all of the trash over here so we can just AoE it down instead of trying to fight it, you know, one at a time. So that's pretty much all we're doing. We're just gathering up all of the trash. Doing well, thank you very much for asking. Oh, Kagi, I know you really like those hollow dancers.
You know it, girl.
So for this one, so these two next trash pulls, you want to try really hard not to get knocked around, because if you can see, there's a couple of crabs down here, the massive cove crabs. They can be a pain in the butt to kill. They also kind of hurt. So then there's a whole bunch of drunken pirates in here. We're just going to group them up and AoE them down. People like to complain about lag here, as you can see.
Yeah.
Lots of particle
You can
effects.
also just skip the track.
Yeah.
If everybody runs through.
Yep.
Because they evade once you get inside the boss room.
But where's the fun in that? Also,
no lag.
No, fair. But if you are progressing on Bulo, we do recommend actually clearing out the trash. All right, Bulo. Bulo is the second boss. Biggest thing to remember here is that he's going to be doing a lot of, there's going to be segments where he spawns circles on the ground that throw electricity and lightning down, so we just want to make sure that we don't stand in that. For the base mechanics, you're going to have one, the rest of the group is going to be stacked behind Bulo over here. So we're all going to be behind Bulo. Jaden's, you are taking the barrel. Do we even need to worry about barrels in story mode? I don't think so, right?
We can just do the first one, and
Okay.
the other ones, the barrage, the spawn of the pirates lines up with the barrages, and
Yeah.
Bulo targets the two primary targets, so the two main threats. So tanks they always make sure to build threat on the boss.
Yep. So as you can see, I've kind of shown ads on Bulo is bugged at the moment, so you don't need to worry about barrels. Good to know. Thank you very much. But for when they are not bugged, as you can see, I've put one tank marker up here and one tank marker in front of Bulo. So what's going to happen is you see these little barrels around here. They're going to become clickable when the fight starts. The tank or the player that is in charge of this particular segment is going to grab one of the barrels, come over here, and you're basically baiting the circle and the ad spawn. Not the ad spawn, but the lightning circle that spawns at the first. Correct? The pirates usually spawn where the boss is facing. Correct. All right, so just to kind of show you what's going on. Everyone else is going to stack until that first round of lightning circles goes out, and then we're all going to spread out.
Cool. The first circle goes on the farthest person away from the boss.
Right.
So...
That's why you want everyone to stack up. It's very similar to Calpheus, where you want everyone to be stacked except for the one person in charge of, you know, baiting the red circle on Calpheus. So shotgun blast, you really want to make sure that you don't stand in that. There's going to be other fire. There are the ads that spawn.
Why are they moving?
But the pirates will die. Go ahead and spread out, everyone. The reason you want to spread out is because there's going to be these little load driver trucks that...
I'm silenced. I can't talk. Because the barrel silences you for a long time.
Yeah, the barrel does silence you. Just is something to remember. The barrel silences you from doing any abilities besides carrying it. Also, there are these little load lifters that come out. Mass barrage. This is the lightning circles we were talking about. There's going to be all of these little blue. There you go. So the blue circles have spawned. You want to try and keep them into into an area. You can even overlap them, but you don't want to stand in them after they have landed. But the load lifters will come out in hard mode, and they will target a player and go after that player, and then they will explode for AoE damage. So if you're all stacked up together after the first circle, that's going to be a lot more work on your healers. There's that. There was the load. That's what the load lifter looks like right over here. There's also, he randomly tosses a barrel onto a player. That's where this fire is. That's what that fire is for, so...
The, what's it called? The volley, which is the purple circle. Mercs
right.
should be trying to reflect that. And then the mass barrage, you can pretty much do a chase flare and negate, like, all of it. So that's just something to think about if you want to, like, add some extra DPS, yeah.
Yep. And if you get a purple circle underneath you, it's going to spawn a blue lightning field, so you just want to make sure that you're not, you know, killing your raid group with that. Alright, easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you have pirates after the spawn, after Bulo dies, which you will usually have, you just knock them down and move on. You can double stack the mass barrage circles before having to move from them. That is correct. Also, hi, hello, how are you? Alright, moving on, trucking right along, we are moving on to Torque, everyone's favorite Wookiee with a wrench and a temper. There are two different strategies to Torque. Most groups will take the Zerg approach. Basically, they're going to have one tank, sometimes even one healer, so they're going to stack as many DPS as they can, and they're just going to burn him. They're just going to ignore straight mechanics, and they're just going to burn. However, we're going to show you how to do both. We're going to show you how to do the mechanics. We'll do the mechanics in story mode, and then we will Zerg in hard mode. So with Torque, sorry, the mechanics are he will just, like, his whole goal is to try and, like, eject you out of the ship. As you can see, this is a ship that we're trying to enter because we're commandeering the ship to go after Coratanni. and we're trying to get to her, and this is where Coratanni's ship is. So we're going after Coratanni, and Torque is like, no, he is the artificial gatekeeper. He's yes, just by the way, this ship can actually drop as a mount, and it is a legacy bound mount. So just as an FYI, that's a fun little thing. Sure, that's fine. So for the mechanics for Torque, he's going to, at certain points, destroy one of these panels. So there's going to be 4 panels in this room. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there's everyone's favorite Wookiee with a wrench. It's a big old wrench too. And as you can see, there's these 2 spawn points right here. Now these spawn droids called fix-use. So when Torque destroys one of the panels, it is the ranged and the healer's job to summon a fix-you. That fix-you is the biggest thing here, and the thing that wipes most groups is that the fix-yous are actually considered enemies. So you've got the red bar, you can hit them with AoE DPS. So it is, I see a lot of groups wipe because they've killed too many fix-yous, and the terminals do not get repaired. Once 3 terminals have been broken, you get ejected from the ship, and it is an auto wipe. It just automatically wipes the group. So there's 2 other droid spawns. They're called shoots lasers and fire devices. Fire devices spawn a big red AoE circle. Juggernauts can reflect that. I don't know if Mercs can. I do not think
they can. They just have to attack first.
They have to attack.
Or else it just doesn't register that they're reflect.
Okay, so there you go. So Mercs can reflect the big circle from the fire devices. You just have to attack the fire device first to have it register that you are attacking. Another is called the shoots lasers. They're going to get globaled. So the shoots lasers is automatically going to focus on a fix-you if a fix-you is spawned. So there's going to be a big line. I remember that, White Angel. There's going to be a big line that spawns starts from the shoots lasers, and it's going to target and move with the fix-you. So what your team needs to do is they need to stand in front of the fix-you and move with that line to make sure that the shoots lasers doesn't destroy the fix-you. One of the other things is that the tanks are going to take Torque away from the terminal that has been broken. So if, excuse me, so let's say this terminal here has been broken. The tanks are going to take Torque away from that. So that way no accidental cleave or dot spread is going to move from the boss onto the fix-you, and the fix-you will die because they have all of 10 health. They are not sturdy at all. I mean, even breathe on them wrong and they'll just even looking at them will kill them. There will also be turrets that spawn on top of the terminals. I don't remember if they spawn in story mode as well in hard mode, but I do know that they spawn in hard mode. So usually you want to have your lightning sorks, your snipers, and your mercs. People with really, really good AoE on top of the terminals that spawn. Other than that, sometimes the grates will, as you can see, we're standing on top of the engine of an engine, so the engine will have fire that go through the grate, so your melee DPS just need to watch out for the fire in the grates. And then the last mechanic you need to watch out for is a tank mechanic. It's called Sick of You. Torque is going to place a debuff on a tank called Sick of You, where does the tank take increased damage, or is it just a one shot after
It takes increased damage.
Increased damage.
Usually tankable, but that's because of the gear.
Yeah, so that's where the tank swap comes in. Especially in hard mode, you want to tank swap on the Sick of You, wait for that debuff to come off, and then that will tell you when it's time to swap. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do mechanics on this one, and we will show you the Zerg strat for hard mode.
Who's getting the first droid then?
I will get the first droid. In hard mode, to get the droids, you will actually get a debuff, so you need to make sure you have a list of people of cycling. Usually it's going to be you know, range, and then your 2 healers. All right, on tanks.
Fine.
I mean, we might even just Zerg him regardless because of gear. So as you can see, the tanks have brought Torque over to one of the terminals.
He
There's the,
jumps to the closest one.
Yep.
Always breaks the closest one.
Yep. So here's the shoots lasers. There's the line. It's dead. Okay. That shot global. There's the fire. So you want to make sure you.
Yeah, we don't need to do mechanics.
There's the dangerous
Is that
fire
50%
device.
already.
Yeah, I know. So dangerous fire device.
Wookiee Rage in 5.
Wookiee Rage in 5. That also brings a knockback. You can negate it with hydros. Hold the line. Jugs can negate it with what is that talent again, Koggy?
Unstoppable utility and master.
There you go. The unstoppable. This is what the terminal looks like when it is broken. It's going to have, you know, the panel up here is broken. There's going to be lightning shooting out of it. So, well, he's already at 22%, but I'm going to... Okay, so a Fix You has been spawned. That's what the Fix You unit looks like. It's an astromech. It is considered an enemy, so you do need to be careful. The Shoots laser is automatically going to target it, as you can see right here. The Fix You will die as soon as... Okay, well, there you go then. But anyway, trying to do mechanics Zerg anyway feels bad, right? All right. Everyone's favorite boss, Master Blaster.
Did we like mention the fact that like if the Shoots laser is still up, somebody can actually stand in the way of the beam to block it from hitting the Fixie droid?
Yes, we did.
All right, cool.
Yes, we did. I got you, fam. I got you, but thank you for double checking. All right. So this is where Rugar is all like, yo, coming after you, Coratanni, blah, 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 blah. All right. So, Master Blaster. This is the biggest pug or group wall, in all total honesty. In story mode, he's not that bad. Hard mode is another ball game. Okay, so Master Blaster is going to start off with just Blaster. He's a big old droid right here in the middle of the group. He's going to do a knockback on the tanks, and it's going to be a conal. In story mode, it doesn't really knock you back that far. In hard mode, that's completely different. It knocks you back to, you know, Timbuktu. One of the things that we recommend is preparing, if your team is getting ready to go into hard mode, Ravagers, or wants to work on hard mode Ravagers, this is not canon, or this is not like you have to take this positioning, but I'm putting these markers down to show you, because in hard mode there are these explosive probes that go around players, and they are proximity based. They do a lot of damage, so you want to make sure that your team is as spread out as much as, you know, within about 10-15 meters of each other, so they're not running against each other and exploding the explosive probes. So we're going to DPS Blaster for until about 65%. You also want to make sure that your melee DPS do not go under Blaster due to an ability called Trample, which is just a passive. So every time you go see where the heal marker is underneath here, right here, this is a no-fly zone. So unless you're a power tech and you have up close and personal, and yeah, you're gonna go under for fluff because you like big numbers and you cannot lie. We're going to DPS him down until about 65%, and then Master's going to spawn here. You'll want one tank to keep Master away from Blaster for the first couple of portions of the fight. Master will do an ability called Ion Cutter, and it hurts a lot. In story mode, not so much, but in hard mode, it will kill your tank. So, Sork DPS, anybody with Sork DPS, Shroud, what you can do is you can run in front of the tank, So like a Sork, as a Sork, I would run in front of the tank, take the Ion Cutter, and Force Barrier. So much for the resub. So, or you can Stealth out Shroud. Assassin DPS can Shroud. But you want to just make sure, because Ion Cutter puts stacks on you that basically whittle your armor away and will Global a tank. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jaden.
You take increased damage from the next ion cutter, so per stack. That's why you need to soak the damage.
Yep. So you need to make sure that the tank doesn't take all of those. Take those Ion Cutters away. So we're going to DPS down to about 50-ish%. Master, what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 ranged DPS on Master, and then the 2 melee DPS are going to stay on Blaster, just to kind of make sure that they are pretty much DPS down evenly. And then Master's going to leap up at 50% and do an ability called Rain of Pain. Rain of Pain will spawn a big red line entirely across the arena in certain locations. So it's usually in about 3. It's going to divide the entire space into about 3, as you can see where these markers are right here. One of these 3 locations, like I guess you can call them like zones, one of these 3 zones is going to be safe. It's not going to be red. It's not going to have the carpet bombs being dropped on it. So you're going to want to find the safe zone and stack there for the duration of the Rain of Pain. That can be one of any of the 3 zones, so you'll just need to be aware and know what's going on. Then Master's going to drop back down. We're going to repeat most of Phase 1 again until about, 25 to 30% on Master. And then we're going to stack, that's when it's considered burn phase. We're going to stack Master and Blaster together for dot spread. Master is going to do an ability where I forget the name of the ability, but it's going to put an electric field on the group. It does hurt, so but you have to take that because Blaster does a knockback for anyone who does not have the debuff, and I'll show you what the debuff looks like during the fight. Master dies or explodes at about, rejiggering. No, it's not. I'm just having a blonde moment. I can't remember the name of the ability. But I'll show it when we're in burn. Blaster dies at 9%. That's when they explode. So it's really, in story mode, it's not a very hard fight, but it is very mechanic intensive. So we're gonna go ahead and pull. I'm gonna once again talk through the fight, all that jazz, and then we'll show you why we're so spread out in these weird locations come hard mode.
Cool.
You definitely want to make sure that as a DPS or even the off tank, anyone who is not active, there's the knockback. It's a big cone.
I'm lagging pretty bad.
Okay.
I don't know why.
There's the explosive probes that are coming out. Blue circle on top of certain people. So that's why we want to make sure that we are not standing on each other. It is, because otherwise, I've entrenched, so... Alright, so Thermite Rocket Mortar is going to spawn. You're going to see these yellow circles around the arena.
DPS back.
So those do those do damage, so you want to make sure that you're not standing in them. So you'll hear... We will talk later, Marcus. I will answer that question later. Alright, boss has been called. Oh wow, 50%, yikes. So, in story mode, nothing really happens, but in hard mode, you'll get knocked up once the probes explode. Alright, so Master is now down, so we're going to have the 2 ranged DPS on Master the entire time. Master's going to have a shield on him, and there's the sweep that you want to stay out of, because otherwise you'll take a lot of damage. Master is going to take about, how much? 90% reduced damage. There's the Ion Cutter. It looks like our tank stealthed it out and disabled the cast. So you'll hear patterns. So these will be called patterns. So when you hear something like DPS back or DPS front, those are safe zones or not safe zones, depending on how your tank wants to call them out. Alright, second Ion Cutter, do you need someone to take this?
Nah, we were gonna do like we did last week of both tanks stealthing out.
Alright, so this is Reign of Pain. So this is going to be, so anything besides this area is a safe zone. You will also continue to have thermite bombs on the floor, so you want to make sure that you're avoiding those. So in story mode, it's only, the arena is divided into 2 and not 3. So we're just going to keep playing hot potato with the patterns, with the bomb patterns, and with Reign of Pain, and with the explosive probes. So it's, as you can see, it's not a very hard fight. It is very mechanically intensive, and it's situational. Like, you really need to have situational awareness for this fight. Know what's going on, know what your fellow raiders are at. And just, you know, watch feet. It's the biggest thing about Master Blaster is watch feet. Alright, looks like we are getting ready to go into burn phase. So now we're going into... We're not stacking. Do not stack if you have bombs.
If you have a bomb.
If you have bombs, do not stack. But if you don't have bombs, go ahead and stack. It's called Ion Pulse Wave, so that needs to be faced into the group, at least until everyone has this debuff called Charged, magnetically clinging to the deck, making it harder to move. So he is going to do a Pulse, which knocks us up, and if you do not have that debuff, you are going to go flying. It is really very, very important. Everyone's hard stop on Blaster and hard swap to Master. Very, very important. Very, very important that you do not use any movement or solidifying effects such as Entrench, Hold the Line, Hydraulic Overrides, because that will negate the ability, and that is still considered not having it. Hi. Anyway, that's it. That's Master Blaster, at least.
By the way, if you do what we did on the story mode, if you do on hard mode of pushing Blaster first before Master, you're gonna wipe.
Yep. You definitely don't want to push Blaster first. And that's what happens.
And you don't need the debuff on story mode on
No, you
hard
don't
mode.
need, don't need it in story mode. Hello, everyone. Hi,
And I found out why I was lagging.
Why?
Battle.net updating, wow.
Traitor.
Wow.
I mean, I don't even play this game. I don't even play SWTOR. I pretty much raid log. I'm playing.
You don't need to say that. You don't need to say that. Not right now.
Are you playing BFA or are you playing Classic?
BFA.
I'm sorry.
I spit on you. Disgusting.
For the
So
Horde.
mean. For the Horde. For the Alliance, thank you. At least you don't have a homicidal...
Oh, good. You know, Jaden's upset me, but you upset me more. Get your disgusting humans and fucking gnomes and... Oh, disgusting.
Hello, Void Elf, thank you.
Blood Elf, by the way.
I was a
Yeah.
Blood Elf before I got Void Elves, but I'm
Okay,
sorry,
alright.
but Manduin...
Alright, you've
fine.
redeemed yourself, Jade.
Void Elves for the win, yes. Void Elves, yes. But also, Manduin, thank you. I will take Manduin, a boy king, over a homicidal, genocidal maniac. Thank you. Waiting here. High Elves, yes. I would totally be okay with High Elves. Anyway, but we're not talking about WoW today. We're talking about Star Wars. So this is the trash going into Coratanni. Does he have wings? Have the wings. I don't know. Who are we talking about? Oh, I'm sorry, Marcus. Not yet. We ran into some lag issues. However, we're going to be going back later today, either today or tonight or tomorrow, and we're going to get him his wings. But yes, he will be getting them. He will be getting his wings today or tomorrow. Yeah, Doc. It took me a minute to realize, but yes, no, he will be getting his wings today or tomorrow. one of our tanks was having some latency issues. So
And utility issues.
and utility issues, but it's okay. They're in Poland. This is forgiven.
I don't know about the utility thing.
Okay, I'm talking about the latency. I didn't talk at all about the about the utilities. Do we have a spaceship mount in SOTOR?
There's a lot of them.
There are. However, you can get a replica of this ship as a mount, and it is a legacy mount. We're heading back to Duxon. Nice.
There's like 3 other like
Mhm.
spaceship mounts, like the Star or something or other, like
Yeah, the
escape pod mount.
Mhm.
There's all sorts of like mounts that look like actual starfighters in the game.
looked into potato. All right, so Coratanni. Coratanni in story mode is really just pretty much so Coratanni is a three-phase fight. It's more like 2.5. Honestly, what is that orange glowing sword on what character? Oh, on on Sharkbait. That is a color crystal. Is that the black core crystal? Is that
black orange eviscerating crystal.
on the Furious Lightsaber from Season 3 ranked PvP because Kagi is a show-off. Yeah, it does look really good.
Wow. We're gonna talk about his like saber and not about my gun.
Please, Jaden's no furry graphics here.
I can do whatever. It makes a difference.
One thing to know about Coratanni is that she has a really, really bad habit of bugging out if anybody in the raid group has a pet out. So try to make sure you don't have any pets out. But Jaden's is special and gets her furry Groffit anyway. But if we bug, I'm blaming you.
I just
Okay.
I just
Bye, Groffit!
My Groffit's gonna be back later.
Okay. Alright, so it's a very strange glitch. It's very strange, and it's been since inception, but it is what it is. And you just have to work with it. Anyway, so Coratanni is about 2.5 phase fight. First phase is going to be Coratanni and Pearl. So Pearl, I love Pearl's little flavor tag. She's called My Little Birdie. I love it. So Pearl is untauntable. Coratanni is the only one.
Here we go.
Oh
God damn it,
I was
Groovy.
typing in chat. I'm sorry.
All right, well, talk about a face pull. So,
no! Pearl's she's tauntable. She's not safe. She gets a buff sometimes that she is untauntable.
Ricochet.
all right, so we're gonna actually focus on Coratanni first. We're gonna bring her down. She's gonna jump out at the last second because that's what all of these bosses do. She's gonna say, "Have a nice life." All right, deck guns. These big yellow conals, those are called deck guns. They will knock you into the side, so you want to try to avoid it. I also have a debuff right now called gaseous, which is fire. So when the fire debuff goes out, you'll have somebody come up to these panels, click the panel, then these blue circles are going to spawn. It's not that big of a deal in story mode, but in hard mode, it's a huge deal. And that is how you cleanse your fire debuff away. Another ability that she just did is called Ricochet Shot. It's called Split City. So Ricochet Shot has been, if you are hit again, you will take damage in harder difficulties. You will instantly die. So Ricochet Shot is a spread mechanic in hard mode, and story mode does not really matter at all. But just try to avoid touching somebody with Ricochet Shot debuff as well.
One thing is that
Go ahead.
Pearl is near sort of Coratanni. Pearl gets buffed and will do more damage. I don't know if Coratanni also gets buffed, but I know at least Pearl gets buffed and does more damage, so you want to keep them separated, but story modes it doesn't really.
Yeah, a big thing to note in this fight is that if someone dies in the first phase of Coratanni and Pearl, the next phase does not begin until you actually click the escape pod. So you can combat raise, you can stealth out raise, you can do everything. You can wait for... Okay, thank you, boys.
I'm not rezzing you, Groovy. You
No,
flash
no!
tucked.
No, do it!
I'm rezzing Sharkbait because he actually died to damage you flash tuck.
I
So...
did! I accidentally typed /stuck.
So as you can see, you know,
I got pulled in the
Okay, we
comment.
don't need that guy. We don't need him.
no, we don't need that guy.
Get the fuck out of here.
So you click
Battle
on
res for hostage.
battle risk for hostage.
No, we don't need that guy.
We
Joke's
don't
on
need
you. Joke's on you, my corpse was transported.
It doesn't matter. We still don't need you. So we're gonna go into second. So the second phase begins once you click the escape pod. This is the Rugar phase, where surprise, surprise, Rugar has jebaited you and is betraying you and all of that jazz. So we're just gonna DPS him down. He's gonna do an ability called Hostage, where he's going to take a player hostage. All damage that is done to Rugar is going to be 100% reflected to the hostage, so it is very, very important that you do not DPS Rugar during the hostage phase. I mean, sometimes dots will, sometimes, he'll do a hostage and you're not expecting it. So there's the hostage. It's on something stupid, so we're all going to just stop. We're all just going to stop what we're doing and then move on. There's another thing called a death mouse. Death mice will spawn, and they will automatically target the player with the lowest health. If you are a Sork or a Sage healer, you can get Jaglobaled in the harder difficulties. So what is almost recommended is having a DPS like a sniper. Faz does has really great names. Yes, he does. So like a sniper, keep them at lower than everyone else, so the mouse droids or the death droids will always focus that particular player. That player, like a sniper, for instance, I can entrench and shield probe and take literally no damage. So I got a mouse coming to Sharkbait. So it's also... Does it do AoE damage? I don't remember if it does AoE damage.
I believe it does do AoE damage. That's why I popped my AoE damage reduction.
Yeah,
but...
so you want to make sure that, like, you would keep your... So I've got another one coming to me. There you go. Starly is the hostage, so please don't kill him. We actually do need...
I tried.
I know you did. It's on something stupid. Chat loves your names, Faz.
Oh, they should see my pubside tunes.
Rugar also does a knockback, so you want to try and position yourself so where you're not getting, knocked into Timbuktu.
That was on you, Ren.
I know. See, I just popped shield probe and just ignored it. Oh, I still have Bronte's talents. Well.
I had until Method Blessing.
He also does a corrosive grenade that can be cleansed by any cleanse. So, Rugar quote dies at 9% because once again that's every boss in this instant. You're gonna run over to this escape pod. You're gonna try to click it. As you can see, it says escaping ? Dot.
But
Question mark?
if you don't want to do that, and if you want to fluff your parts, just hit Ruger.
Just hit Rugar. Yeah, you can continue, but
Yeah, he absorbs the damage.
yeah, he does
Joke's on
absorb.
you on that.
Back.
Carry for
Ship
VA.
explodes, you get knocked to a desert island, and that is the Ravagers.
Okay, since we're on this island, once we do the loot, type /stuck.
Oh gosh. I am great
Nothing
concern.
bad actually happens.
I am great concern.
Look, I even did it.
Okay, you know what, I'll do it. Oh! So if you
It just
slash
brings you
stuck,
back.
it brings you back, and you can explore the ship.
So the ship didn't really blow up, it was just a lie.
It was an illusion.
Hence why we have the stronghold now.
You just can't decorate it. But that is story mode Ravagers. Honestly, not that... Yeah, exactly. The most important mechanics. Not a very difficult raid in and out of it. At its base core, it is not a difficult raid. Master Blaster is really the only very mechanically heavy fight in the instance. But The rest of them really easy. Like I've been in groups where we spent 3 weeks on Master Blaster and then one shot Coratanni with half the raid dead. I mean, so
Yeah, Coratanni's not a bad fight in hard mode at all.
no, it's not. All right, we're gonna go ahead and reset the instance, and we're gonna go ahead and move straight on